And some big breaking news as far as the Israel-Iran conflict is concerned. End to 12-day war with Trump claiming ceasefire between the two countries. Trump declares Israel-Iran ceasefire. Trump says Iran and Israel came to him seeking peace. And he further added that I knew this was time for peace. Now, just hours after Iran struck U.S. Bases in Qatar, and Trump said that it's time for peace. So just hours after the US bases in Qatar were struck by Iranian strikes, Trump declared that a ceasefire has been achieved. He said that it's time for peace. Meanwhile, Iran, on the other hand, has said that no agreement has been reached and it will not be reached till Israel stops attacks. So that's the latest development that is coming in as far as the conflict between Israel and Iran is concerned. Trump claims that end to 12-day war. He claims that ceasefire has been achieved. He also says that Iran and Israel came to him seeking peace. But on the other hand, Iran claims that no agreement has been reached and it will not be reached till Israel stops attacks. Now, remember, this announcement of ceasefire by Donald Trump came just hours after Iranian strikes on the US bases in Qatar. Then Trump posted on social media platform saying that it's time for peace and that a ceasefire has been achieved between Israel and Iran. But what is also important to note that Iran has not agreed, and it has said that no ceasefire agreement has been reached, and Israel needs to stop the attacks in order to reach the ceasefire agreement. This is what the Iranian side has said. A big update as far as the 12-day war between Israel and Iran is concerned. Remember, there was a US military airstrike also on 3 nuclear plants in Iran, after which yesterday Iran struck the US base in Qatar, after which there was an announcement that was made by Donald Trump saying that a ceasefire has been reached between Israel and Iran and that it is time for peace. In fact, Donald Trump also claims that Israel and Iran came to him seeking peace. But Iranian side claims that no ceasefire agreement between Iran and Israel has yet been reached, and they have demanded that Israel needs to stop the attacks in order for a ceasefire agreement. But on the other hand, Donald Trump continues to claim that a ceasefire has been reached. In fact, US Intel Chief Tulsi Gabbard also hailed Donald Trump, saying that only Donald Trump could have done this. India Today Global's Pranay Upadhyay is joining us with more details on this. Pranay, on one hand, US President Donald Trump claims that a ceasefire has been reached between Israel and Iran and that it is time for peace. On the other hand, the Iranian side says that no such agreement has been reached.
It's clearly a discord, or you can say that the difference of opinion, difference of perception, and clearly this shows that how these both parties are not at same page, because President Donald Trump might be claiming that he has made both the parties to agree, and that's why he wanted to claim that he was the one who actually brokered this peace deal or a ceasefire and ending the war, because President Donald Trump has been looking for an opportunity to end the war, and that's why he has called it a 12-day war. He has posted on social media claiming that he has brokered a peace deal and a ceasefire, and both parties will adhere to. But this is clearly not the case, because the Iranians are not adhering to it. They are not agreeing to these things, and that's why if they wanted Israel to stop aggression against Iran, and that's why another fresh salvo of missiles are being fired at Israel. And this clearly shows an extension. This clearly shows that this conflict is not ending at this juncture, at this point, which President Donald Trump might be trying to claim.
Right, absolutely, Pranay. So on one hand, Donald Trump claims that a ceasefire has been reached. On the other hand, Iran says that no such agreement has been reached upon. Pranay, so what do you make out of this premature announcement, if Iranian side is to be believed? No such agreement has been reached, and Donald Trump already claiming that everything has been done. In fact, he also claims that Israel and Iran came to him seeking peace.
President Donald Trump might be boasting that he was the one who brokered this deal. Both parties approached to him, but this doesn't seem to be the case because there is no perfect agreement. There is no no agreement on this on the timeline. What President Donald Trump is trying to claim here, that the 6-hour ceasefire initially agreed and to be implemented by the Iranian side first, and then the Israeli side, and later on after 24 hours there will be a complete ceasefire. He might have claimed these things, but there is no confirmation as far as the Iranian side is concerned, because Iranian foreign minister did go to Russia. If Russia has brokered this deal, if Russia has approached United States, that Iranians have agreed, because there was certainly a back channel between Russia and United States. But as far as the details of these ceasefire is concerned, we do not know as yet who approached whom, and if that any ceasefire, any agreement need to be corroborated on ground. What is happening on the ground doesn't seems to be giving a testimony of what has been agreed. So this clearly shows that somewhere, at some point, like there is a clear difference in what they claim, what they say, and what is happening on the ground. This also shows that President Donald Trump, he might have been claiming these things, but this is not clearly the case on which he may be saying that there is a ceasefire which has been agreed, but the Iranian side is not adhering to. And if Iran doesn't adhere to this ceasefire, then obviously the Israelis would also have to retaliate, and there will be another fresh round of airstrike might be carried out by the Israelis, and this will further continue this conflict.